And we're going to stick with that real estate theme. I think it's important to have a diversified portfolio, something that is preferably not correlated. And I have a great friend of mine here today, Michael Ruge. And Michael is, again, great businesses can be articulated very simply. And I love what Michael's doing. He's an expert in Vancouver real estate. And what he's doing is just very simple. It's a no-brainer. It's a killer deal. I just love it. So anyway, I want Michael to come up here and share it with you. Everybody, big round of applause for Michael Ruge. Come on up here, amigo.
Thank you, Daven. Everybody hear me all right? Good. So we basically own apartment buildings without having any cost in them. Does anybody want to know how to do that? Yeah. All right. So there's a housing crisis. Everybody knows about the housing crisis, right? Yeah. So what we do is, whatever we do, it has to be beneficial for the people, everybody, our partners, the people that are our tenants, and the planet, right? So our purpose, our mission is to solve the housing crisis. Okay, so we've done real estate, different parts of the world, and we focus on southern Vancouver Island right now, and we're here in Puerto Rico to look and see if we can do the same thing here. And it should work everywhere. So this is our business model. Now, I'm going to go fast through these slides so that everybody can get to Aruba. But what I'm going to have the last slide the same, and my email will be on the last slide so that you can email me and get this presentation in case there's anything you want to ask about or to duplicate the model wherever you live. So here's an example of a deal we did, just broke ground in December. Okay, so there's going to be 100 people, families, couples that will have a place to live. We have 0 vacancy for 5 years where we are. Okay, so we purchased the land, 1.2 million. Okay, we got several appraisals. That's one thing. Always get 3 great appraisers, 3 great plumbers, 3 great electricians, etc., so that you always have a nice variety in there. And to give you an example, one appraisal came in at 1.7 million. Then another one, 2.1. And the final one came in at 2.5. This is all in the same month that we sold it for $3.5 million. All right? So don't ever go by the first appraisal unless it's what you want. All right? We put $1 million back in and we retained 20% ownership in it. So we have made money. All our partners got paid back with 10% compounded interest. Okay? And we have the cash paid out as a dividend, and now we're building generational wealth. So my kids, my grandkids, will be getting the revenue from 20 of those units. We retain, it's just over 100 units, that revenue. Okay, so here's one that we're doing that is the first time someone's done a condo on the water. It's crazy. We've got an ocean right there. Nobody's done a condo project on the water. Okay? And these will actually be for sale. Now, here's another tip along the way. If you ever do an apartment building, register it as a condo. So in the future, you don't have to go through the hassle of converting it. You can, it's already a condo. The only difference is you own them all. So 4 stories on here. It's already appraised as built at 18 million. It's going to cost us less than 10 million. Okay. At the last minute, a doctor, we use private lenders a lot because the banks are difficult in Canada. And a doctor jumped out, so we find somebody for that. The bank pays for the rest, and away you go. So that's an idea of what it looks like for the partners. We don't ever bring in just equity on our deals. We bring in partners. So some of you might remember Roy Rogers, the cowboy. He had a famous line: "I'm much more interested in the return of my money than I am in the return on my money." So everybody gets paid back first, and then we worry about how much we're going to make on it. So this one is near and dear to my heart. I mean, it's our mission to solve the housing crisis. And when Daven asked me to come here and share how we do it, the idea is you can all go do that if you're in real estate or be part of it. This one, the sad part is, as we heard from the mental health speakers, there's a crisis out there in many ways. Young people have given up hope, right? Hope that they will ever own a house. And that is sad. It's not, no, I'll never be able to afford it, they think. So we're going to do these 364 units as a long-term rent to own. So $200,000 condo does not exist where we are. It will now with this project, right? So most rent to owns are too short, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. It doesn't work. But if it's a 10-year, now it can work for them. So they pay the same rent that they normally would, but we put a little bit of equity at the end of the period. So everybody wins. There we go. So here's an example of a big one that we're doing. And by the way, we only look for property that's already where the municipality or city wants it to be. That's another trick. Don't fight City Hall. It's way too time consuming and too stressful. Go to where they want you to be. And we only ever buy anything that's in the money. Okay? Just like Robbie, he's not going to go and buy a place hoping that it's worth more later. He's buying it because it's already in the money. You've probably heard it. You make money the day you buy real estate, right? So this project here, we've just had it appraised. We're already in the money, 12 million, okay? Because the land value is going up. They're building a $1.6 billion hospital a block and a half away. So we're right between that lake and the hospital. All right, so that's how we're doing this one. Everything we do is in increments of 250,000. Now that's Canadian, so at the current exchange rate, that's probably about 50 grand for you guys. I don't know. It's something like that. It changes every day, but so there's probably a 20 or 30% lift on the exchange rate at some point too, because it usually does balance back. Why the Cowichan Valley? It's the only place in Canada where some years we don't see a snowflake, right? It's just past Seattle, and it's just wonderful. I mean, a lot of doctors are coming out for this super hospital because of lifestyle and everything else, and nothing can compete with Puerto Rico's 4%, but the tax rate here is 11%. So it's not bad for Canada. Okay, so without going into that in great detail, but basically the big developers, they will not sit down with the people and figure out with their house, whereas we can, okay? And we will put together 3 houses, 5 houses in an area for the apartments, and it's great for the homeowner. We love it when a homeowner wants to be part of it and they do a vendor take back. That's rarer than I would like it to be. I found 30 years ago it was better. And by the way, I'm rushing here because I'm trying to give you 44 years of experience in 17 minutes. So feel free to run into me. My daughter's here, my wife's here. to come up to us. At the end of this presentation, we're going to go to the bottom of those circular stairs and be there for a couple of hours for anybody that doesn't want to go to Aruba when it's hot and waits for the afternoon or evening. So when we partner up some of these houses, our first exit strategy is selling it to a big developer. So now we've got the houses, we've got the land, we've started the process with the city that already wants an apartment building there, okay? So when they come in, we add $1 million onto our costs. So whatever we paid, say we bought houses for $4 million, we now add $1 million to $5 million. We've spent $500,000 in interest over a 2-year period or what have you. So that big developer comes in and buys 80% or so of the project, sometimes 50%, but if you think about 80, but they have the full financial responsibility. So we have got all our money back with 10% compounded interest, and we now own, whether it's 100 units or 300 unit apartment building, and we don't have any cost in it. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. So one of the reasons that we do it where we do in Canada is that the federal government, knowing about the housing crisis, will give us between 95 and 100% financing of the apartment building on the condition that we leave it as a rental for 10 years. So we register it as a condo, we have it as a rental, they'll give it to the money at about 2.5%, sometimes less, on a 50-year amortization, right? So, I mean, that's incredible. And they will also give us the money for up to 20 years on that 50-year amortization and lock it in at the 2.25%, 2.5%. So, yeah, I think as we're not set up for questions, I think that gives you enough. Feel free to buzz me on WhatsApp or email, and I can get you a copy of this, and we just sit back and wait for the dividend checks to come in. Thank you.